All right, I think we can kick off, guys. So, well, Active Pipe community, welcome back to today's Industry Insider, where we welcome Courtney Hill from InspectRealEstate along with today's webcast, along with Henry Osborne, Active Pipe's Head of Client Success. And today it's just going to be another short, sharp and punchy session where we're going to cover the topic of our new integration with the InspectRealEstate guys. This seamless integration is pretty cool. It enables your contacts to book private inspections right out of your Active Pipe campaigns. So, Courtney, welcome to today's webcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Ash. Looking forward to it.
No worries. So Courtney, maybe a good way to start will be, what's the story of IRE? I mean, how did it all start?
Yeah, so IRE started with Andrew Reese out of Queensland, and he had a real estate business. About 10 years ago, he noticed a real gap in his market of he would have a lot of properties up for lease at any one time, sometimes up to 400 properties up for lease any one time. And he was drowning in inquiries and bookings, and it was just taking up so much time. So he decided to enlist his brother-in-law, Mike, who was a developer at Boeing in the United States. And he called Mike and said, hey, can you write me some code on the weekends and at night and 3 o'clock in the morning? And that's how IRE began. So eventually what happened is they slowly built the product. Andrew's direct competitors in Queensland all saw it, obviously, because they were in the same marketplace. They called Andrew and said, look, I know we're competitors, but can we have this product? And that's how IRE really began. So the product went to a couple of different agents in the area, and then Andrew decided to sell the real estate business, and here we are 10 years later with 3,000 clients across Australia, New Zealand and the UK.
That's awesome. So solving a problem in their own business and then discovering that competitors had the very same problem. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what do they find, like what do agents find they can't live without when using IRE? What's the magic moment? What keeps them coming back to the platform?
I think it's always the big winner, the time saving. And there's lots of little things with IRE that make it such an amazing product. And I guess we call ourselves the IRE family. Once you join us, you're part of our family, and then you help us build and create the product. I mean, a lot of the main things that people really love about it are the intelligent responses. So we don't just respond with a generic response. What we mean by intelligent responses is it's all based around what inspection times you have. So if you do have inspection times, you get a certain response. If you don't, you get different responses. And then the great thing about the system is all of those inquiries are then automatically followed up as well. So you think at the moment what that chunk of your day is where you're sitting at a computer responding to inquiries and following all of them up, and then organising inspections and booking people in. Well, our system does all of that for you automatically. It takes that off your plate completely.
Okay, and so you look at an agency that's maybe not a customer of InspectRealEstate. Why should they consider IRE for their business? I mean, you partially answered that there, but what would be the key selling points?
I think we have to consider consumer experience. So you can have 15 different people working in an agency, and that anybody that has a touch point with any of those 15 different people can have a different experience with your business. With IRE, that experience is streamlined. So it doesn't matter if Courtney Hill contacts 3 different sales agents, 3 different letting consultants in your agency. You know, and you have the confidence that Courtney Hill is going to get the same level of service, that consistency of service, no matter what. Because the one thing to remember is that inquiry process, that is the window to your business, especially as we move to so much of an online process now. People don't walk into the office and get that initial experience from your frontline receptionist or whatever it might be. It's all now about how did that agency respond to my inquiry on day dot, and that then creates that relationship with that agency. So that is, in my opinion, the most critical thing that we can have implemented in our business for that consistency of service.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. And probably just talking about the last couple of months, it's been a crazy
Sure
crazy
has.
set of circumstances we find ourselves in. How has COVID-19 changed things for IRE?
You know, it's been a really interesting few months, particularly in Australia. I know New Zealand's had lockdown as well, but in Australia we've had not full lockdown, and very thankfully we've still been able to do inspections, but there's been quite severe restrictions in place as to how we can manage those. Interestingly enough, IRE was made for the coronavirus period. So we encourage people to book for inspections. We can cap how many people can come to an inspection. We can, one of the things that we created through this process was the ability to have inspection slots. So this is where you can stagger your buyers through your inspections. So instead of having 30 people milling around out the front, you can stagger 2, 3, 1 buyer through in 10-minute slots. And so it's, again, about the end goal. How do we sell and lease these properties? And so, and how can we still do that through coronavirus? And it's really interesting. We've been watching the stats over the last 4 weeks, and you wouldn't believe it, but we're now getting more inquiries on rentals and sales properties today than we were 12 months ago. So the market is still moving. There are still people wanting to see properties. So stopping inspections is not the way to go. We just need to use the system that's available to us to facilitate that.
Yeah, got it. And just for someone that hasn't kind of seen Inspect Real Estate before, talk us through some of the calendar integrations that you guys have got, because I know
we have the ability to integrate in with your Gmail calendar, your Outlook calendar. So let's say you tell our system that you're happy to do inspections Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. What our system will do is it will read your calendar to see if you have other appointments available, and it won't allow people to book you out within that time. So it's a smart calendar two-way integration where you basically just say, all right, Inspect Real Estate, I'm happy to do inspections at these times, go away and book me. And then we will make sure that we don't double book you against, appraisals or other appointments that you might have.
Got it. That's awesome. So guys, we're going to move over to Henry Osborne, Active Pipe's Head of Client Success for the ANZ region. Just before that, if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to just let them flow through in the Q&A section or the chat box. If we don't get back to them today through the webinar, we certainly will come back with a list of Q&A after the webinar. The success team will jump on that straight after this and get back to you with a link, with a recording of the webinar and some answers to all of your questions. So just letting you know, fire away with the questions now, and hopefully we can get to some of them at the end of this. Over to you, Henry.
Great, thank you guys. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is show you how quick and easy it is to utilize the feature that Ash and Courtney have been discussing within Active Pipe. So when you do log into Active Pipe, you'll see your dashboard. This is where you land. This is where you can see all of your reporting. To send an email that includes the private inspection links, navigate down to your emails tab. Here you'll see all your previously built emails and click create a new email. Select your template, okay, and give your email a name. This is just an internal name for your own purposes. Your contacts won't see this. So just name it something that's relevant that you can refer back to in future. Okay, that opens up the email builder. Okay, first things first, let's put a subject line in. Obviously, this is what your contacts will see. This is what's in their inbox. Arguably the most important thing to drive engagement to your email. So think about something that's really eye-catching, is going to drive a lot of opens and kind of grab the interest of your audience. So we'll put that in, exciting properties you may be interested in, and select a communication category. Cool. So this is the email builder. It's a simple drag and drop system. Drag the panels from the right-hand side into the content section on the left-hand side. Given we're talking about private inspection links directly into Inspect Real Estate today, I'm going to drag in a feature property first. Okay, drag and drop that into our email. The next step is to choose the property we want to promote in this email. So click on the icon in the bottom right. This is where you'll see all your properties coming through automatically from your property integration. Okay, I like the look of this one here, 4 Vauxhall Road. So I'm going to select that. Okay, now the all important part, to include the private inspection links in the email. Okay, so click on the little cog, the options section here for this property. If we go to property details and we want to add a new item, we can see we've already got headline, address, and amenities. What we want to add here is request an inspection. Okay, so click that, hit the plus button to join it into the email, click save, and now we can see that that's populated. Okay, so you know, once this connection is set up between Inspect Real Estate and ActivePipe, that's all you need to do, and this will automatically link to your Inspect Real Estate booking page. So super quick and easy. While we're here, I'll just show you a couple of other things, a couple of other features within the email editor which might be useful. So we've looked at the property panel, we've chosen a feature. Within the property panel, there's also a grid section. Okay, so if you want to include, as opposed to a hero property, you could include a series of smaller properties. We could also look at the smart feed section. So what smart feed is an article integration. Okay, now you all have a series of preloaded content streams that you're able to use. So if we drag that feature smart feed in, click on the icon on the bottom right, we can choose from our series of content streams. I'm going to select real content. Okay, just to reiterate, these are all you know, free content streams that have been put into your account by default. You know, you will all see this. Feel free to utilize those. It's a great time to kind of provide relevant content to your database. So feel free to jump in and use those. I'm going to select this one here, how to ensure your home is adequately insured. Okay, and quickly and easily that pulls through into my email with the heading, the image, and the content. It also links off automatically as well. There is one other cool module here I wanted to show you, and that's the video section. Okay, so if we drag in a video, we can click choose video and either grab the video from YouTube or Vimeo. We integrate with both. We can preload your YouTube channel, or alternatively, you could just paste the YouTube URL at the top here and then click get video. So I'm going to select this one here with Ash and Josh, and bang, that comes straight through, puts a nice play button on top. As soon as your contact clicks on that in the email, it's going to take them to that video and they can view it straight away. You know, with restrictions easing, you know, what people have been using this for over this time is, you know, digital walkthroughs of their property, you know, online inspections, things like that, that they can kind of send out quickly and easily, and then maybe book a private inspection off the back of that. So yeah, a lot of use cases there for those videos. Great. So, you know, in a few short minutes, you know, if that, I've created this nice sort of on-brand email that we can send out to our contacts. Step 2, once we've built that, is to preview and send the email. So preview up here, you can either view it online or send yourself a preview. If we click view preview, we can get a nice look at that, pulls through my agent photo and my details. We can view that on desktop view or on mobile view. Okay, and we can see our link that's come through here to book the inspection, and our properties, our article, and our video as well. Okay, now the last stage of this is obviously to send our email. So I'm going to hit save. I'm not actually going to send it, obviously, but to do so, we would go through and hit quick send, basically choose our audience, and then select the date and time to send this out. Okay, so we see really good open rates on Wednesdays and Thursdays, either early morning or around that midday time. So I'm gonna go with 8 a.m. on next Wednesday to send my campaign. You can also repeat that schedule as well. So if you wanted to send it weekly or anything like that, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can come in and do it each time you want to send, and then hit send, and it's easy as that. What I'm going to do now is pass back over to Courtney, and what she's going to show you is what actually happens once the contact will click this link on the Inspect Real Estate side.
Yep. I've got a couple of little questions that have come through that probably worth answering here, just to be clear. So yes, you will need one of the questions was, do I need an Inspect Real Estate account to have the private inspection bookings integration? Yes, you will need an account with Inspect Real Estate and ActivePipe, and then the integration works. The other question is, when can we have it? I saw one of them in there earlier. It's available right now, so it's live and in production on ActivePipe right now.
I think I saw a question as well, Ash, about can you do it with off-market properties?
Yeah.
You can with IRE. We'd show you how to put an off-market property into IRE. So I assume that's not an issue with ActivePipe either.
Yeah, the same with ActivePipe. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
so I think you know, Henry, thanks for jumping through and showing that journey of the use case and how easy it is to bring that integration link in. It'd be nice to see the customer journey once they click. Courtney, over to you.
Yeah, great. So what you can see here is this is what will happen when one of your clients clicks on that request an inspection button. So it will click into one of our Inspect Real Estate pages. Now, what you can see here is that your buyer can see here the day and the time with which you have made yourself available to show that property. So I'm going to show you today two of the main options when it comes to having inspections available on your properties. So the traditional way when we're in a normal world of doing inspections is that you would say, I'm going to a property for 30 minutes and people can register for that time. So you can see here on Friday, the 15th of May, I've got a time of 12 till 12:30 that buyers can book into. They would then just register their details and click confirm. And I'll talk you through the customer experience once they click confirm shortly. But the second part, which is a little bit what I alluded to earlier when Ash asked about the calendar integration, this is where this office has told our system that they're available between 8 and 8 to show properties. So what a buyer can do is they can say, well, I'm available at 10:30 and they can register to come along at that time. Now the system is quite customizable. So you could say that only one buyer could book in for a time. So once 10 o'clock's locked in, that's the locked in time. You don't go again for that day, and anybody else who wants to see that property can only come at that 10 o'clock time. Or you can make it that you can go to the same property multiple times in a day. The other thing that I also alluded to earlier, just in line with the current restrictions that we have, is you can cap how many people can attend your inspections. So that's a setting that's also available. So essentially a buyer would select when they're available, and also just so you know, they can select to arrange another time. But if the times that you have here are not suitable to them, they can click arrange another time, and that will send you as the agent an email letting you know that you need to contact that person because they want to make an alternate time. So if I click Friday, 12 until 12:30, you just register your details. And click confirm. From here, the system will actually start to automatically communicate to that buyer. So just an example of one of our emails, we can put a picture of the property, we can put another book inspection button. We also have a map, and then they can also visit your office website. Something that's really important to note is these responses are fully customizable. So we have a standard one, but you can then update those as you need to. So if you have additional information that you want to put in, then you can do so. But essentially what will then happen is any notification can go as an email and or an SMS. When we will respond immediately upon booking. Now, every single response looks like you've sat at a computer and actually physically typed it. So they are all branded to your office and they all come from your email address. Also, just so you know, if a client doesn't book into an inspection, so they organise to arrange another time, but then they don't physically book into an inspection, our system will automatically follow them up for you every couple of days until they either book or unsubscribe. Once a buyer is booked into an inspection, a buyer or a tenant, not only will we confirm the inspection and we'll give them a calendar invite that can go into their calendar, but the night before the inspection, we will send them a reminder. And then 2 hours before, we will send a message, are you still attending, yes or no? So the level of follow-up to your buyers is really consistent. Comes back to that point that I was talking about earlier, where it's about the consistency of service. We know that everybody's getting the same level of communication across the board. Something else that's also really good to know is not only can we send that information through to the buyers, but if you have a vendor or a landlord against that property, we can also automatically communicate to them and let them know an inspection's been booked, how many people have registered and so forth. So there's a lot of communication that's available that all is governed from this initial book inspection button that you place within your ActivePipe emails. Back to you, Ash.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Courtney, and thanks, Henry. We do have a few questions coming in. I'll punch through a few of these. Are contacts being pulled from IRE? Actually, that's a really good question. So if you use IRE to store contact data, for example, tenant data, we actually have built out an integration there, so we can use IRE as the CRM or the source of truth for contact data as well. We built that out as part of the integration. We had another question there, is SMS applicable to New Zealand? That's probably a question for you there, Courtney.
Yeah, absolutely. We have SMS in New Zealand as well. We have a number of clients using the product in New Zealand and they use SMS.
Great, okay. Another one there, does this work with property management and sales? Absolutely. That's why we've integrated with InspectRealEstate for the contact data. But yeah, as far as the way that ActivePipe works with property, it works with rentals and normal residential sales listing data. There was one up the top there that I didn't get to. It was, can you add these features to an existing template? Absolutely, you can. So Henry just went into an existing template and just, you saw him go into that settings modal. You'll see a video again, and we'll get that back to you after this, where you can have a look at how easy that was to just bring in the link for the booking, the private booking. What else have we got? I think we've kind of punched through them all. Can clients who have registered their details for an inspection be automatically fed back into the CRMs like Agent Box? So that'd be very top of the funnel. Do IRE currently push data into CRM?
We do to some CRMs. So yes, Agent Box, we do. My Desktop, Rex, there's about 10 that we do it with. So it would just be, if that's a requirement with your agency, when you were setting up your account, just have a chat to the account manager about which CRM you are using, and then we will arrange, if we have that integration with that CRM, your account manager will arrange that for you.
Okay, we just had Effie come in. I know that one's in, so she's just responded with a big yay there, so thank you.
I will just say on top of that, if you are using a CRM that doesn't have an integration with us, we can do an export. So you can do a CSV export import. So, and that's it's a very quick process. So if that's a requirement, we don't have that integration with the CRM, your account manager can assist you with that process as well. Okay, and I can see Carl Perkins there. He's put in that he wants to speak to you, Courtney, about setting up a new account. Way to go, Carl. It's been about 4 years since I've spoken to you. I think you were one of the first people we spoke to when we first started ActivePipe 4 years ago. So g'day, Carl. Be good to catch up at some point, and glad to see you're still in the industry. Awesome. So yeah, Courtney's got the details there. She'll follow you up, Carl, on that one. And I think we'll probably wrap that up, guys, and
we'll definitely get back to. Keep firing away with the questions there, and we'll certainly get back to you with post the webinar. So, well, you know, Courtney, once again, on behalf of the Active Pipe community, I'd like to thank you for your time today. I know, you know, we have really enjoyed working with yourself and the IRE team to get the integration up and running. We're so looking forward to like a long-lasting partnership of solving industry problems together. I think it's just awesome. And, you know, I guess that's a wrap. We look to kind of respond to all of those questions, as I said earlier. We'll circle back with QA. If you've got any questions on the Active Pipe side, please feel free to email success@activepipe.com, and Henry and the team will pick up on that and respond to that pretty quickly. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for joining, and I hope you got a lot out of the webinar today. Cheers.